Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. 2,500 point battle, another Shiloh GT prep. Lord Tremendous of the Tomb Kings versus Death Holy Death of the Vampire Counts. Hey, we're both going, we both wanted to practice against the best, and so we played the best. No, honestly, we just like playing against each other, and we wanted to practice for the Shiloh, and so we did. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how this one goes.
Assemble the army!
Now, as always, before we start with my army list, take a look at that dice in the background. I have ordered these. I hope to have them by the time the Shiloh comes around. But these are the I beat Lord Tremendous dice. The only way to get these dice, once I start passing them out, is to play me in a game and beat me. Yeah. It's not that hard. Ask Death. But, yeah, that's the only way you can get one of these dice, is to play me in a Warhammer game and beat me. So, yeah. And if you lose, you get the other ones, the red ones that I showed like a month or so ago. And as soon as I get this batch of dice in, I'll start handing them out. Until then, I'm not, but you can only get them from me anyway if you play me in a game and win or lose. And you only get one of each type. So if we play 2 games and you win both, you only get one of the I beat Lord Tremendous dice. You have to win one, lose one, and then you get the set. So which means you have to keep playing me, which means I get more games, but you get free dice. So it kind of works out in the end. And yeah, with all that coolness kind of let go now, and I'm sure the words are over it by now, here's my list. My Tomb King, Lord Tremendous, he's got a shield, Sword of Anti-Heroes, Armor of Destiny, Dragonbane Gem, and other Trickster Shard. I have a Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth, who's a level 4 wizard with the Staff of Sorcery and Lore Nehekhara, and another High Lich Priest, Dark Vincent, who's a level 3 wizard with the Spell Scroll and the Lore of Undeath. My hero choices are my Necrotech, Sinister Jeffrey. He's got the Sword of Striking, Dragon Helm, and the Iron Curse icon. My core choices are 5 Skeleton Horse Archers with a banner, 58 Skeleton Warriors, the Fateless, with full command light armor shields, 12 Skeleton Archers, the Queen's Guard, with full command, and 2 units of 3 Chariots. One is Rollin' Bones with a Musician Banner and a Banner of Eternal Flame, and the other one is the Thunder with Banner and Musician. My special choices are 3 Medusa Stalkers, those that gaze, a Cimmerian War Sphinx, with Fiery Roar, and my rare choices are a Hyro Titan, Nad the Protector, a Screaming Skull Catapult, and a Casket of Souls. Death Holy Death, I am not putting his army list up because it is a closed list GT, and there should be surprises at a GT. I put mine up because I don't care. I'm going for 3-2, 4-1, whatever. If I do better than that, so be it, but I'm just... I don't care. I have a battle report channel. I don't think it's fair to go, ho, I'm going to keep it a secret. No, screw it. You can see what my list is. I don't care. But Death doesn't have any of that, so you don't get to see his list. So there. Here are my spells, which is pretty much what you're looking at. And here are Death spells, which are exactly what you're looking at. Here's deployment. And once again, I didn't see a whole heck of a lot of a reason here to do anything like a denied flank, because I just think that would have played into his strengths or whatever. I could be wrong. I might try it later on. But this is what I went with. And basically, you're just seeing me setting up right in the middle with the regular guys ready to support it. I was hoping to get my Chariots and my Kitty into one of the units of Skeleton Warriors when they came down. I figured the combined charge would just be brutal. I have my Skeleton Warriors with my Archers backing them up, and the Titan right near my casters so that he can give them the plus D3. And I wanted my Titan where he's at so that he could try to get rid of those Hex Rays before they gave him a problem. That's also why I put my Scouts where they're at instead of way over on the left flank, because I was hoping that his Hex Rays would divert over and go after my Scouts as opposed to ignore them. If they ignored him, that's fine. I was going to take pot shots at his Terrorgeist. My Chariots are on the right flank there to just basically kind of protect my casket a little bit and maybe charge a Terrorgeist if he comes in after anything on my right flank. And the Catapult's sitting over there because I don't expect anything out of the Catapult. That's my strategy. Here's Death's right flank, which consists of a unit, one unit on the left there is a unit of, I think, 49 or 50 Skeleton Warriors with Hand Weapon Shield. The ones next to them are a unit of 49 or 50 Skeleton Warriors with Shield and Spears. And then right here we have his center, which is 2 units of Spirit Host right there on the left side. Behind them is a unit of zombies with a Master Necromancer and a Acolyte Necromancer, I guess. In front of them are his Grave Guard. Sorry about the last battle report. I don't know why I kept calling him Blackguard. I guess I'm just used to Death Play and Dark Elves. But his Whitekin BSB and his Vampire Lord General are in that unit. Right next to the general there is the Spirit Host. Next to the Spirit Host is another unit of zombies, and behind them is a Terrorgeist. And here's his left flank, which consists of his Hex Race of Doom. Here are my scouts, which consist of my 5 scouting horseman archer guys. And here's my center. From right to left, there's a unit of chariots. These do not have the banner. The other one does. The flaming banner, anyway. They both have banners. Behind them is my Casket of Souls. There's my Titan. Next to my Titan is my Skeleton Warriors with Necrotech and Tomb King installed. Behind them are my Archers with High Lich Priests hanging out. And the War Kitty. And here's my left flank, which is the unit of Chariots with Flaming Banner, as well as the Casket. Or, I'm sorry, the Catapult. Here's top of one after movement, and I got to go first, which is always a treat. My scouts moved up just a little bit to kind of not harass, but tempt, I guess, the Hex Race. I really wanted them to come after me as opposed to hanging out in the back. The Titan moved up to maybe take out the Hex Race, you know, with his Shem's Burning Gaze. I was hoping maybe get lucky there. Other than that, I just kind of scooted my chariots on my left flank over slightly. The War Kitty moved up a little bit, and I just tried to put a little gap in between the War Kitty and the Skeleton Warriors because I have Skullstorm, and I want to use it this game. Nothing else happens in top of one. My magic phase is abysmal. I completely botch my rolls, and Death is easily able to dispel everything. My shooting phase is my typical shooting phase. Nothing of note happens. I think a zombie or 2 dies. That's about it. So we go to bottom of 1 after movement, and you're looking at it. He comes up, his Terrorgeist comes up to scream at the Titan, and that's kind of okay, because my chariots were in such a position that they could charge a Terrorgeist whether or not he kills the Titan, and I'll put as many wounds on that stupid thing as I possibly can. His Spirit Host come running up front there, because why wouldn't they? His Skeleton Warriors, both units move up a little bit. The zombies and everything move up. Even the Grave Guard move up a little bit. And the Hex Race decide to go plowing through my scouts, which is cool because it kind of puts them out of position. Now they can't march. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm okay with it. There's a better picture of his Hex Race tearing up 3 of my scouts, which is abysmal. He rolls really bad for his Terrorgeist. His magic phase is just awful. I'm able to stop it all. So we go to top of 2 after movement, and it's looking up. My chariots slam into the Terrorgeist, and I'm feeling pretty good about that one. My Skeleton Warriors move up a little bit. They tried to charge one of the Spirit Hosts. I needed a 12 to hit them, but I figured, you know, the most I can move these guys is 4 inches anyway, so I think I ended up moving 5. I think I needed a 12, I rolled a 9, so it was close. Other than that, the other chariots just kind of adjust a little bit because I really don't want those damn Spirit Hosts tying him down for the rest of the game again. But in order to get there, he's got to get into the charge arc of my Skeleton Warriors, and I'd be fine with that. The Titan moves back behind him for the same reason. I don't want a Spirit Host into him, and everything just kind of scoots around. My scouts pretty much stay where they are because now they're useless. They've irritated the Hex Race. I'm hoping that maybe he tries to finish them off by running through the scouts again. I'd be fine with that. Here's about a picture of my chariot slamming into the Terrorgeist, and keep in mind this is the unit without the flaming standard, so it is what it is. And here's a better picture of my Skeleton Warriors failing a charge into the Spirit Host, and that was just, you know, why not? Nothing happens in the magic phase again, but in the shooting phase, my catapult not only hits, but direct hits and wounds and destroys a Spirit Host, which was huge. Huge! I guess it was the 6th game I played with that damn thing, because it's finally doing something. I was so happy. Then over here in combat, the Terrorgeist dies. The Terrorgeist dies, but it was a mistake, to be perfectly honest with you. I charged, I had high ground, I have a banner, and I did 1, 2, 3 wounds. He did 3 wounds, and he ended up with the BSB in range. We both thought at first that he had 5 wounds on his Terrorgeist, and the combat was just going to keep going. But I think what happened after thinking about it is, now a whole turn goes by before we figure this out. but we Death Holy Death looks at me and goes, "Wait, wait, wait! You had high ground. That's another wound, or that's another combat res. I take 3 wounds. My Terrorgeist is dead." And to be perfectly honest with you, I wasn't thinking about it. I was too far ahead in the game already, so I just took his word for it. We pick up the Terrorgeist, and my chariots move forward. But we figure out about a turn from now that in my next movement phase, actually, we realized that that was wrong, and we actually counted high ground twice. So just heated a moment, not thinking about it, and we screwed up. The Terror guy shouldn't be dead, but it was Death Holy Death's call, and I even asked him, like, what do we do about it now? Because we find out about it a turn from now, or figure it out a turn from now, and we just say, screw it, our mistake, move on. But I just wanted to point that out. Anyway, that's where my chariots ended up afterwards, because I didn't want to be charged by the Spirit Host, because I couldn't hurt them. So, after that debacle's all said and done, we go over here to bottom of 2 after movement. And there's a little bit. His Hex Race decide to ignore not only my chariots, but my scouts as well, and start coming forward to get into my casket and my Titan and my warriors, which is smart. I should have expected it, but what can you do? And then the rest of his army moves up. His zombies turn to face my chariots that just took out the Terrorgeist, and I'm not worried about that because I'm pretty sure my chariots, I mean, at the very minimum, I'm going to get the chance to turn around and face the zombies, so that's cool. Other than that, the other unit Spirit Hosts go running towards the chariots, and that really sucks. And the rest of his infantry moves up modestly, not overly quick. There's a better picture of his Hex Race running through. One guy clipped my chariots and did a wound to him, which I thought was a little cheap, but yeah, what can you do? Nothing else happens. Nothing. His magic phase is a wash. His shooting phase doesn't exist anymore, so we go to top of 3 after movement, and you're looking at it. For the most part, I just kind of say, screw it, time to be aggressive. My Stalkers come onto the table and they get behind a Hex Race. Excuse me. My Titan turns and looks at the Spirit Host, figuring, bring it on, sucker. My Chariots on the left flank there charge into the Spirit Host. High ground, banner, charge. If he could not hit me, or I could make my saves, maybe I can get the 5-up ward save off or something like that, or even my 5-up armor, because I get my armor saves against the Spirit Host. Maybe I can survive this one, or just flat out kill the Spirit Host, and that would be great. My War Kitty moves up just slightly to dare the Skeleton Warriors to charge them, and my Skeleton Warriors charge into the Graveguard because even though I got slaughtered last time, I was willing to bet that it wasn't going to happen twice. Here's a better picture of my Skeleton Warriors slamming into his Graveguard, and this one I wasn't too sure about, but I figured if I didn't charge him, he was going to charge me, and I could use the +1 combat res. Here's a better picture of my Skeleton Chariots charging into the Spirit Host, and I've got +3 combat res on the charge, so I was feeling pretty good about this one. Nothing happens in the magic phase, again, but in shooting, my Stalkers, I get 20 shots and a misfire, so I take 2 wounds out of my Stalkers, and I do like 8 wounds to the Hex Race. It's glorious. The Hex Race are all destroyed, and that's awesome. So, one less ethereal unit to worry about. Meanwhile, over here in combat, well, my Tomb King ends up in a challenge with his BSB. His BSB hits me twice and killing blows me twice. And I make both my ward saves, which was pretty impressive. My counterattacks end up doing nothing because I don't get my strength bonus. I wasn't able to wound. Rolling a little below par for that, but what can you do? I'm rolling pretty average everywhere else, so I can't complain. Other than that, I'm having trouble wounding these guys. At strength 3, I'm having trouble getting the wounds to stick. I'm wounding him, but he's making his armor saves, and I think they got like a 4-up. Heavy armor and shield, because they're hand weapon shield Graveguard, so I get the crap beat out of me, and I ended up losing about 16 models total. But I'm still in there, and, you know, it's top of 3, so if I can just handle a crap load more combat there, maybe I can survive, but I'm not holding my breath. I think I screwed up pretty bad here. Over here, though, my plan worked. His Spirit Host completely flub and take 3 wounds. They're not dead yet, but they're on their way, and I feel pretty good about that. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and his zombies on the right flank there charge into the chariots, which was expected, but I was pretty sure my chariots had that. The rest of his infantry just kind of form up and wait to see what happens with the ethereals and everything like that. His last remaining Spirit Host that isn't in combat charges into my casket and makes it, which sucks, but, you know, I was kind of hoping maybe they'd hold on. There's a better picture of my his zombies slamming into my chariots, and I was Feeling okay about that. I figured my chariots could handle it, but, well, you'll see. During his magic phase, his Graveguard get Dance Macabre off, and so they're re-rolling failed to hits, I believe, and that's awesome. Nothing happens in shooting, so we go into combat, and his Spirit Host wreck my casket, exploding it. Not ideal, I'll give you that, but I do 3 wounds to the Spirit Host, I do nothing to the Titan, although he was hit by the explosion, and 2 Skeleton Archers die. So, not the greatest thing in the world. I really hate that I lost my casket, but the Spirit Hosts are on their way out, and I'm trying to see the upside here. I know I just got my teeth kicked in. But over here, once again, the Spirit Host flubs his rolls, and I win combat by 3, and the Spirit Host goes back into the warp, which I thought was outstanding. Over here, this is the upset of the game right here. These zombies, I'm only able to kill 2 of them. Again, I'm not rolling great to wound. I'm hitting left and right. I'm just not hitting anything vital. And yeah, the zombies eat my lunch, which is really kind of discouraging, kind of sad actually. And my chariots with combat res and everything blow up. I was as shocked as you are. And to make matters worse, they overrun and slam into the flank of my damn stalkers. So, didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming at all. Really discouraged by that. The fact that that my whole right flank just fell apart like that. Not happy about it. Not happy about it at all. But what can you do? You got to ride it, right? And then over here in combat, it's just getting worse. I think I kill one. I kill his BSB. My Tomb King is able to kill his BSB, which was nice. And I think I kill 1 Graveguard. Meanwhile, he kills another, what is that, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more of my warriors die. And I'm just getting my ass kicked by Graveguard. You know, what can you do? I'm still in there, though. So, with that, we go over here to top of 4 after movement. And I kind of have to go for broke here. The War Kitty tries to charge the unit of warriors on the far left flank there and fails. However, the chariots do make it, so that's kind of nice. My archers move up 4 inches to try to get my character within 12 inches of the skeleton warriors so that I can try to buff them and raise some skeletons before they're all dead. My Titan slams into the last remaining Spirit Host to just try to combat Resident Death. Charge, hopefully he doesn't hit me, or at least I can make my armor save, and then it dies. And other than that, everything I have is dead or in combat. The scouts are just going to hang out on the hill because it's 80 points I'm keeping from him. There's a better picture of the chariots making a charge and the War Kitty failing one. And I was kind of hoping that with where the War Kitty was, his other unit of skeletons would charge the War Kitty because I was pretty sure the War Kitty could handle that charge and deal some serious damage to those guys. During the magic phase, I get Skullstorm off, which I was very proud of. I ended up doing like 2 or 3 wounds to the unit of skeleton warriors on the right side, and like 22 or something like that to the ones on the left, which really gives the chariots a solid chance of wiping this unit in 1 round of combat. So I was excited there. Nothing happens in the shooting phase, so we go into combat, and it's not too bad. My Titan wins. The Spirit Hosts don't hit or wound him, and they die to combat res, so that's outstanding. Then over here, we go into combat, and I flub a little bit. I think I ended up doing like 7 impact hits, and I mean, with combat and stuff like that, I killed a handful more. He didn't do anything to me. He's down to about 14, 15 skeleton warriors in that unit out of 49, so not as good as it could have been, but I'll take what I can get. It's going the right direction, so I'm not upset. Over here, however, I was able to get a 5-up ward save off on these guys and bring back 4 skeletons. He issues a challenge with his Vampire Lord, and my Necrotech accepts and gets his face kicked in for it, which was awesome. So he's dead. And the rest, I lose this combat by a ton again. My Tomb King is able to take out a few Graveguard, but that's it. It's just really going downhill here. And now, once again, they're completely out of range of my spells. If they survive another turn, I might be able to move them up, but it'd be really dangerous to do that. Then over here, the one Stalker that's in base-to-base contact is able to kill 2 zombies. He hits and wounds twice. I think he wounds with his stomp. I'm not sure. But charge, flank, and a couple of, charge, flank, and 2 ranks to, I think, 2 wounds. No, I didn't do anything to stomp. He wins by 2, I'm an Arcane Construct, so I put another No, 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 no. I don't take any wounds, but I lose this combat. And when I roll my leadership in order to turn to face him, I fail it. I roll like an 11 or something like that. So I have to leave him in my flank, which really sucks. So, circling the drain, we go over here to bottom of 4 after movement, and I'm trying. Uh, his skeleton warriors charge into my war kitty and make it, so that was cool. He ends up in the front, which is good as well. So now the war kitty's right where I kind of wanted him, so I'll take it. I'm hoping that the chariots can finish off the rest of the skeleton warriors and then turn to face and then charge the flank, and then we can sweep through the rest of it and still win this game. But that could be a pipe dream too. We'll see. Other than that, his zombie horde with his Master Necromancer and Necromancer move up slightly. Everything else he has is dead, or in combat. There's a better picture of his Skeleton Warriors with spears charging into the War Kitty, and I'm feeling pretty good about this one. During his magic phase, I believe he gets Hellish Vigor off a little bit on these guys, and what is it? Invocation. Yeah, Invocation goes off and heals a bunch of zombies on both units as well as some Graveguard. I think all the Graveguard come back. Not to mention, I think some skeletons in the warriors, some skeleton warriors that are into the kitty come back too. Not many, like 1 or 2. Yeah, he gets Hellish Vigor. There's a better picture of him getting Hellish Vigor off on that unit of Graveguard, which means now he's rerolling his 2 wounds, which means my skeleton warriors are just dead. And, it is what it is. In combat over here, after all is said and done, I don't do very well in close combat with Stalkers, and I take 3 wounds total with combat res and combat and everything. So 1 Stalker dies, and that's not good. On a happy note, though, the Stalkers do pass their leadership check with a 3 and turn and face the zombies, so that's a little something, I guess. Then over here, oh, the War Kitty. The 4 guys on top, they do, I think, 3 wounds. The War Kitty tries to do his Thunder Crush and fails, but he blows his Fire Breath and his Thunder Stomp, and I'm able to just beat these skeletons to about half strength, which is great. And I take no wounds in the process. So, although I win this combat and they're still in there, it is, in one fell swoop, he's got the unit down to half strength, which is awesome. And then over here, the Skeleton Chariots, they do pretty good. They get them down to about 13 Skeleton Warriors left. I'm winning this combat. I do take a wound during the combat, but that's fine. I'm winning this combat, and I'm feeling pretty good about it. So I'm hoping by bottom of 6, both these units of Skeleton Warriors are gone, because those are points I really need right now. And then over here, I get exactly what I deserve. My Tomb King and everybody else dies. We do the curse, and all that good stuff, but it just wasn't enough to do anything. I think I did like 2 wounds with the curse, but who cares? Unfortunately, I've lost my entire brick, as well as my general and my necrotech, so yeah, feelings are definitely hurt here. So, with tears in my eyes, we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and there's not really any. My skeleton archers move back a little bit, the titan moves back a little bit, and everything else is either dead, or in combat. My catapult does move to look right at the Graveguard, because guess what I want to shoot at? During the magic phase and shooting phase, nothing of any relevance happens, so we go into combat, and I get his skeleton warriors in with my chariots down to 6 models. He's making armor saves, what can I tell you? But 6 models are left, and I take 1 more on my chariots. It is what it is, but I'm feeling pretty good about the direction this combat's going still. And then the War Kitty, he doesn't have Flaming Breath anymore, but his Thunder Crush does hit, which is awesome. And I get this unit down to about 15 models. So I'm feeling no, I'm sorry, 5 models are left. After a while, he got tired of picking up Skeleton Warriors. So yeah, there's only 5 models left in this. That's what that dice represents. The 2 back ranks there, they don't exist anymore. And yes, the War Kitty did take 1 wound. Combat over here, though. The zombies, after all is said and done, are able to kill 1 more Stalker. I have 1 left with full wounds, but it's not looking too good. Even if I hit and wound all 3 times, he's still kind of beating the crap out of me here. So I'm hoping for a miracle here. Hoping for a miracle. Well, drying my eyes, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and really the only thing that happens is his infantry, his Graveguard moved closer to my archers because he wants those points. The zombies with the necromancers inside move up a little bit to just better do the bubble invocation stuff, and everything else he has is deader in combat. with nothing happening of any real relevance in the magic or shooting phase, we go straight into combat, and as you can see, my stalker's still alive, but he's got 2 wounds on him, so I can pretty much count him as a loss at this point, which is sad. It was my fault for not seeing that the chariots could have possibly lost to the zombies, but I didn't see it, and I'm getting exactly what I deserve, so what can you do? Over here in combat, I almost got all of them. I apologize. Some magic did go off, and he did raise some some of these skeleton warriors, but it wasn't enough. I didn't take any more wounds, and there's only 6 skeleton warriors left, so it's okay. That's okay. And then over here, I lose a chariot, but I'm able to finish off the rest of the skeleton warriors, so I feel really good about that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not true. There's 1 skeleton left. There's 1 skeleton left, hence the caption. I apologize. Sometimes I get my facts screwed up. But yeah, there was, in the end, I lose a chariot, and there's only 1 skeleton warriors left, and doesn't that just kind of figure? So, unfortunately, I can't charge my chariots into anything, so we go straight over here in top of 6 after movement, and crap. For the most part, I move my necromancer or my lich priests out of the unit of archers because they're worth way more points than the archers are. The Titan kind of closes the gap there so that his Vampire Lord can't run out and hit my my Hierophant or whatever, and I almost screwed that up. That's why the Titan is over there now, blocking the what's it called, the Vampire's charge, because I was really worried about that. But I almost did screw that up. I almost left a gap there for his Vampire Lord to run out and kill her with, and she's like 245 points, so I can't have that. Other than that, though, everything is pretty much deader in combat. During the magic phase, I'm able to get Skullstorm off, and I basically just kind of put it through my skeleton archers, through the Graveguard, and I think I hit a zombie or 2, and in the end, I ended up losing a skeleton archer, 3 Graveguard died, and 1 zombie. It really wasn't that great, but I was like, why not? Might as well try it. It might be fun. Other than that, nothing else really interesting happens in a magic phase, so we go into combat. And lo and behold, my chariots are able to kill the 1 skeleton warrior that was left. Outstanding. They turn to face over here just in case some weird shenanigans happens, but they're pretty much done with this game now, which is unfortunate. Over here, oh my, the skeleton warriors that are left are able to slip 3 more wounds through on my kitty before the counterattacks and thunderstomp finish off the rest of that unit. But I was like, oh man, wasn't expecting that at all. So the war kitty's hanging on by a thread. He's only got a 5-up armor. I have no chance of healing him or anything like that. Kind of screwed here. So little nervous, little nervous. Then in combat over here, unfortunately, the zombies are able to put the last wound through on my stalker and kill it and get the points for the unit. So that's a damn shame. But they held on for a while. So, you know, it was against zombies, I know. But, poor bastards. They're not meant for close combat. So we go over here to top of 6. And his Graveguard slam into the archers, because why not? His Master Necromancer charges into the flank of my High Lich Priest, not my Hierophant, the other one, the Lore of Undead one or whatever, Undeath, and that's about it. He debated for a while, sending his zombies in to try to take out the War Kitty, but then he saw that his Master Necromancer could charge into my High Lich Priest and decided to give it a shot, and I can't fault him for that. His other unit of zombies just kind of hang out over there, and that's pretty much it. There's a better picture of his Graveguard slamming into my archers, and guess how that one's going to go. And it's also a picture, I'm sorry, it's also a better picture of his Master Necromancer slamming into my Lich Priest on the left there, so. It's a 2-for-1. As you can see, my archers didn't do any better than my skeleton warriors, and they got obliterated by, I think the Vampire Lord did most of the damage, to be perfectly honest with you, but the Graveguard finished up whatever he couldn't finish, and that's unfortunate. Over here, however, my Lich Priest is able to hang on. He takes 2 wounds with combat res and everything like that. I'm not able to do anything back to the Master Necromancer, and he survives. I think the Master Necromancer doesn't do any wounds to me, but he has a charge and a flank. I'm not able to do anything to him. I take 2 wounds, and I survive. So that's good. He doesn't get the points for that. And that's it. There it is, guys. There's the end of the game. As you can see, this game went much better for me than the last game did, but not quite as well as the first game against Death Holy Death did. but I'll take what I can get. For the most part, he's got zombies left on the table, and I've got characters and some monsters and a unit of chariots. So it's going to be close. It's definitely going to be close, but it was a real good game, real close game. And you know what? We will get into the recap in just a minute, because right now this game is over.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to a tournament and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army, and you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. All right, guys and gals, there it is. Token Gal is back, and she's back in full operation mode of making tokens. So if you missed out before she went and got married and became Mrs. Token Gal, or however that works, this is your chance. Get your tokens now. Send her an email. Send her your monies. Get yourself some tokens. They're dirt cheap, solid gold quality. You're not going to be disappointed. Tell her Tremendous sent you. She'll probably know. But yeah, get these tokens. They're so much better than just using dice. They're so much easier to remember everything. You don't have to worry about your cards getting lost, stolen, ripped, torn, whatever. And, they're glass beads, cool high-def pictures. Totally worth it. Get yourself some tokens. You won't regret it. That's right, guys. As you saw from the pictures, Unleashed Wargaming is now doing magic cards. As you can see, not only magic cards, but phenomenal magic cards. Laminated on thick cardstock, photoshopped so that it's real sharp pictures. The words are easy to read. It's real obvious they're numbered, the casting value, the type of spell it is. And they are so unique. They are beautiful magic cards. I have every intention in the world of sending just all the orders I can get to this guy when 9th edition comes out to give me a whole set of the magic cards, because these are amazing. Not only does this guy do great painting, so if you want your models painted, or you need something painted, and you want it painted at a real good standard, at a professional standard for a damn good price, contact this guy. Send him an email. Get yourself some cards. Get yourself your army painted. You won't regret it. Let him know Tremendous sent you. So in the end, if you can effing believe it, I lost by 2 points. 2 points away from a draw. I ended up getting 1,355 points out of him. He ended up getting 1,457 points out of me for a difference of 102 points. Ah! It was such a close game. It didn't feel like it, I gotta be honest with you. I felt like he was steamrolling me the whole time, but definitely a good game. Definitely a really good game. And in the end, yeah, he squeaked it out, but he squeaked the victory out by 2 points. So, you know what? I can't complain, though. I'm playing Death Holy Death. He's got my number. He usually does a lot better than this against me. So the fact that I lost to him by 2 points, basically, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It was almost a draw, and I'm sure next time I face him, he's gonna come at me like a angry white hot ball of canine terror. But in the end, I ended up losing my Tomb King, my Necrotech, my Skeleton Warriors, my Skeleton Archers, 1 unit of my Chariots, my Stalkers, and my Casket. He ended up losing his BSB, all his Spirit Hosts, his Hex Race, his Terrorgeist, and both units of Skeleton Warriors, which is what really helped me get the points I needed. Oh, it was almost a draw. It was so close. Oh, it drives me nuts. But you know what? It was a good game, and I'm proud of the way I played. I did make some mistakes, but I really did handle his ethereal units a lot better than I did the last time. So I was proud of that. The War Kitty taking out basically a 50-man brick of Skeleton Warriors all by himself. I don't know. After this Shiloh, I might have to start running 2 War Kitties. I don't know. They're just too damn good. Chariots also did a solid job against the brick that they went up against too. 1 unit of Chariots, even though it was a miscalculation, took out a Terrorgeist that was fully healthy. The other one took out an entire unit of Skeleton Warriors. Not an entire unit, that's not fair, because the Skullstorm did a lot of damage to him. But still, it did a decent amount of damage, so I'm not complaining. I like the Chariots too, a lot. Might have to change up the list a little bit after the Shiloh. The Terrorgeist going down fast without killing anything was really good. Granted, it had a lot to do with our miscalculation, but I'll take what I can get. Don't get me wrong. And the Graveguard are much better than the Skeleton Warriors, and I really need to remember that because for some reason I keep forgetting it and charging my Skeleton Warriors in there, which is really stupid. I should send in something that can deal with it, like the War Kitty with Chariots supporting him, and then maybe the Skeleton Warriors can go in. But yeah, really need to quit screwing that up. And but as always, this was a damn good game. This was really fun. This was great prep for the Shiloh. And I really do enjoy playing against Death Holy Death. He's a solid player. I've been playing him for years. He taught me how to play the game. And I like the fact that I can give him a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes he rolls his eyes at me and is like, why do I play with this guy? He's half retarded. So but it's definitely a fun game. Solid prep for the GT, and as always, I'm looking forward to the rematch. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 185. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But yeah, guys, thanks.